Hi, welcome to Comic Reviews. A lot of people were thrown out last week by Labor Day, which delayed the comics by a day, which delayed the reviewers by a couple of days, and I'm just generally late, really. I read a lot of comics. First up, Amazing Spider-Man 570, third issue of the New Ways to Die story arc. This is my least favourite of the series so far, although there's a big duking it out sequence. It's almost like a Mexican standoff, three guys don't know who to fight, Spider-Man, Venom and Anti-Venom. I just didn't enjoy this as much as the other issues, but it is still a good issue, a lot better than the Brand New Day stuff. So we get to see, even though Eddie Brock has been taken over by this symbiote, the good Eddie Brock is still in there and he still cares about everyone at the Feast Center. We also get to see that, in a way, Aunt May is starting to wise up to Martin Lee's antics and, maybe starting to wise up to things that we don't even know yet. Of course, Spidey tries to jump in and he can't do anything. And we get to see that, in his own way, Anti-Venom is more powerful than Venom. Probably the most interesting moment soap opera-wise in the whole comic is when Eddie Brock, Anti-Venom, picks up this car to throw at Venom and almost, kills this innocent bystander. Obviously, Spidey jumps in to save the day, and, Eddie Brock realises, maybe Spidey isn't the bad guy, maybe, he is the friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man. And working together, Spidey and Anti-Venom can put an end to Venom, possibly forever. Matt Gargan is just left on the floor, a weak, defenceless man, free from his symbiote, whether he likes it or not. In a way that's become semi-traditional now, I'm going to spoil 90% of the comic and then not tell you the ending. The ending's really good. I kind of saw it coming, but it is really good, and I'm very interested to see where it's going. If you read the comic, you know exactly what I'm talking about. My two biggest beefs with the comic is the front line and the Menace little segments seem to be very dropped in, and it's trying to keep the story going while, there's just this big fight going on, and it just doesn't feel like they've been put in the right place. It seems like they're trying to tie everything in together, and it didn't really fit properly. That's the only problem I have with it. Everything else was fine. I'm still going to keep buying this, even though I wasn't as pleased with this issue as I was with the last two. The big surprise for me in this last week was Submariner the Depths. I'm usually very wary of Marvel Knights, but this was really good. The great thing about Marvel Knights is that they can be a little bit more mature, they can be a little bit more less action focused, and be a bit more, psychological, or, they can build up a bit more without causing too much disappointment, just generally be a bit more adult. This was good. Submariner's not in it yet, but they're building up a story and it's going good ways, and this artist, Esad Ribic, I hope I pronounced that right, is fantastic. I love painted artwork, and when it's done well, it's absolutely fantastic, and this is fantastic. The tone of the comic, when it's necessary, be it light or be it dark, is just perfect. Now we start out with this fantastic quote from Herman Melville, the author of Moby Dick, but then afterwards we get a couple of pages of these little scripty bits, and it's very difficult to read. Every third or fourth word is impossible to read. But the artwork in this is very reminiscent of, as I've said before, Paulo Rivera or Ariel Olivetti. The smooth lines and the colours when we get this outside moment is just phenomenal. And in complete contrast, as soon as we get into the action, we're out at sea, it's rough, it's, absolutely showing the full power of the sea and setting the mood for what is, a Submariner story. Peter Milligan's writing is fantastic. I mean, it grabbed my attention from the very beginning. With a lot of the issues this week, including Amazing Spider-Man, I switched off, came in and out, and had to go back a couple of pages and see what was going on. This grabbed my attention and held on to it, and I couldn't take my eyes away. The writing is very, very realistic. It's not exactly action orientated at this point, but it's setting up for the upcoming issues in the story arc. The art, there's a huge contrast in between the land when the characters are on land and when they're out at sea. It's all bright and lovely when they're on land, and then at sea it's horrible and dark, especially when they go under the sea. It's so grim and gritty. It's fantastic. The quote that opens the comic is, "Man has lost the sense of the true awfulness of the sea," and that is completely the underlying message for this story arc to come, I'm sure, because it's going to show the grim, dark side of the submariner story, that what would be the realistic and true side of it. Really, really enjoyed this. One bit made me laugh out loud really hard because this guy comes up with a remedy for a seasick stomach, and one of the ingredients is powdered mermaid fanny. And for the British and Irish, Peter Milligan's an Irish writer. For the British and Irish, a fanny is a vagina, not a bum or a bottom or whatever you want to call it. And so, although you might get a little chuckle out of that on the other side of the pond, here I laughed out loud. I thought that was really funny, and I'm sure it's an in-joke on his part. I'm often let down by these Marvel Knights runs. Battling Jack Murdoch let me down. What was the other one? Captain America The Chosen. I still end up buying them because they're a little bit more grown up, a little bit more adult, which I enjoy. But this is going to be good. I suggest you buy it. Really, really good stuff. Marvel Apes. Marvel Apes. So after he helps save the day, Spider-Monkey tells the Gibbon about the Ape Vengers. And the Ape Vengers include people like Gorilla instead of Ant-Man, or Yellow Jacket as it's seen here. And then there's obviously the Iron Man drill. And as Speedball points out, the only plot twist in the whole thing, the Susan Storm monkey is actually human. So aside from being an absolute blatant rip-off of DC's JL Apes from about 10 years back, this is just a collection of cheap, not very funny monkey puns. It's not very funny. The artwork's okay. My favourite panel was this, which I did actually think was very, very funny. But yeah, the story just seems kind of thrown together. The worst thing is, they've destroyed all the fantastic work Matt Fraction did with the Gibbon in, it was issue 4 of Punisher War Journal, and I'm going to say 16 or 17, or maybe it's 16 and 17, but fantastic depth to this absolutely destroyed loser character who can't do anything right, and it's fantastic. And this is just, although it does kind of refer to that, it just pulls all that good work apart and ruins it, which annoys me because those are some of my favourite issues from that Punisher War Journal run. This next one isn't that much better. X-Men Beast Origin. The art, horrible art, badly photoshopped crap art. I switched off about 10 times showing this. So we open to the first page and we're led into a false sense of security that this is going to be Alex Ross or Paulo Rivera style painted artwork, which looks absolutely fantastic. Whereas in reality it looks like badly photoshopped real pictures, made to look like they're painted, and they don't fit into the backgrounds that they're on. Bad artwork, difficult to read, don't buy it. Best issue of the week, Invincible Iron Man number 5, fantastic issue, full of action, absolutely great. You have to buy this. I'm not going to even take away from the book itself by trying to get into what went on, because you just have to buy it. It's fantastic. The other thing I bought was Punisher War Journal number 23, 6 of 6 in the Jigsaw arc. I think those 6 issues are going to read really well together, but that issue by itself wasn't exactly great. I'm going to have to sit down, all 6, go through it. It will be great. Run out of time, I'm talking very fast. Thanks for watching. You know what to do if you want to subscribe. If you want to leave me a message, I swear to God I will get back to you. Thanks a lot for watching.